So this data only reflects one day?
No, it reflects an entire year. So
What year?
Per year. Um, So they were doing just a
So
generic.
you didn't answer my question.
No.
What year
Right.
does this data reflect?
No problem. I think what it's saying is a generic year. They're saying how many trips per year.
So a generic year isn't actual data.
No, look, I understand, but they're taking days per year, how many days per year. So they're doing what a mock-up of the entire year would be. So you've got trips per day, how many minutes it runs in the city of Walker, how many hours per day it runs in the city of Walker, how many days per year it runs in the city of Walker, what the operating cost per hour is for the rest of them, how many hours per year, and then that's the total operating cost. So it doesn't really measure 2010 to 2011, 2011 to 2012.
It must though, because if you're taking costs, you've got to have costs over a period of time. So my question is, what's the source of the cost and what period of time are you measuring?
Right, they're measuring the entire year.
Yeah, I asked you which year. You said you don't know.
I mean, I don't think that this is. It doesn't really apply to any year. I mean,
Well, then it's a hypothetical, and it doesn't. It's not real bad.
This is their document, not mine.
No, I'm explaining theirs. Here, organizations, and I'm not an auditor, but organizations have all kinds of data, and it's critical to know why was this prepared, what data was used in the preparation, what period of time, and you don't know the answer to any of those.
You tell me. I don't know. I mean, you're on the board of directors.
And I haven't seen that document.
Why not?
Well, because I don't see every document in an organization.
But you're the boss.
Well, do you see every document that's generated in your TV station?
I'm not in a public organization.
Well, they're all available to any member of the public. Through FOIA, we retain it.
Yes. But you didn't get it.
I guarantee you that there's no organization the size of the ITB that the board of directors sees every piece of paper that's generated.
But you're the mayor of Walker, and you didn't even see the document about your own city.
There are many documents prepared by many organizations relating to the city of Walker that I do not see.
I guess just on its face, comment on the document. I mean, do you think
I
it's real,
can't-
or do you think
I can't comment on the document. I don't understand. There's some questions about it. You don't understand it. So I can't comment on it.
I'm just interpreting what I see.
If you want to submit them to me,
Here, I'll give you a copy.
well, I'm not going to read
You can take
50.
it. I'll take it.
I'll take it. And then
I'll keep this, because I don't have those two. Here, I'll even give this. I've got copies of all of those stations. I just find it interesting that if this was pertinent information to taxpayers, and I believe that, personally, that it's absolutely pertinent to this election, that people need to know why you weren't given a copy of the minutes.
Well, it depends. I guess my answer would be, number one, we don't know what this document relates to. We don't know what time period it relates to. You don't know whether it's before or after enhanced services went into effect. So I think certainly the questions are relevant, but this document to me is meaningless. I mean, I've seen documents. Documents are done for lots of reasons. And I don't know the context of this, nor do you. You don't even know the time frame of this.
I think it's mocking up a year. That's the way.
Yes, but a mock-up is not real data. What I'm saying is you need to, okay, well, where do these numbers come from? Is it a mock-up? What period of time? And so it's not fair for you to say to anyone, or use this to support a point, unless you fully understand the context in which this was prepared. And I don't,
Rob. I mean, I think you look at a mayor and you say, they're basically saying how much service that the citizens of Walker get, and how much they pay. I mean, I think
this document doesn't. Just a minute. This document says nothing about the services the people of Walker. There's no reference to services. There's hours and day. It doesn't talk about how many people were here. It doesn't say where they went to or where they came from. So to me, for you to pick out a single page and say, okay, Rob, why weren't you given this? I think is unfair. I'm happy to look at documents. I study documents all the time, but you can't put me on camera and say, here, react to this without explaining the context, and you don't know it because I've asked you and you don't have a clue. So it's not fair for me.
I think I do have a clue. I think I've explained what.
Well, I asked you what year, what period of time was this measured? And you said you don't know.
Because it doesn't have a year on it.
Well, that's my point. It could have been 4 years ago. It could have been a projection of 4 years into the future. And without knowing all of that, how can you ask any public official or any member of the public and say, this document proves something, because it doesn't?
I think it's pretty clear, though. I think.
How is it clear? What period of time are we measuring?
I think it was authored May 7th of 2012, so
That's
it's
true.
looking at the entire
And
year's
there may be a
time.
biography that was authored in May 2012 relating to something 100 years ago, or a novel that's projecting something 100 years in advance. So for you to say, okay, this book was written in May of 2012, Rob, what do you think about it? And I'm going to say, well, is this looking back into history? Is this a projection looking forward into the future? And unless you can say that, I don't know how you can use this document to make any point. That's all I'm saying.
I didn't author the document. Your leaders within your organization that you're the boss of authored this document and didn't provide it to you, even though it has absolute relevance to the election. It is clear information that at least the voter can take a look at. They may agree or they may disagree with it.
Well, but my point
they should know it, right?
My point is this: they certainly should know it. But if you're going to use it, I think you have an obligation to the public to say, what does it mean? If you don't know what the year, what even the time period was, I don't see how you can use it other than to say this proves something, which you and I both know doesn't, because we don't even know what period of time, we don't know why this was prepared.
Let me ask you, what does it mean? What do you think it means?
Well, unless I get answers to a lot of questions, it's meaningless. It's data on a piece of paper. But if it relates to something 10 years ago or 10 years into the future, unless I'm trying to go back 10 years in history or look forward 10 years prospectively, it tells me nothing.
All right, so I'm with you. All right, so let me play what you're saying.
Now, you said this was a short interview.
But I want to clarify so that here's the document. Peter, this is a note from Conrad Venema. Okay, so this is where it's coming from to Peter Varga, Andy Guy, Nick Monios, and Kevin Wisdom. Peter, here is the financial summary of Walker. Value of services provided versus millage contribution. Please note that this does not include the value of Route 50, which is paid for by the GVSU.
Okay.
And then here's a forward. It says, I attached, I have a breakdown of Walker ridership in April. That's the other document. Of the percentage of boardings and alightings. That's, of course, people getting off the bus.
Right.
And Walker along each route. Now, that is a document that is in April. That's the document I gave you.
Well, this document doesn't talk about, this document isn't talking about boardings or alignments.
Right, this one does. Take a look at this one.
Okay.
This document shows that 1 out of every 4 people that get on and off the bus, and there's 3 routes, 7, 9, and 12, 1 out of every 4 gets on a Walker. The other 3 get on the Grand Rapids.
Okay.
And
where are the folks that are getting on in Grand Rapids coming?
But they're not in the city of Walker. They're not getting off in the city of Walker, nor are they getting on. They're either getting on and off and inside the city of Grand Rapids.
You know where they get off?
They're getting, but
And then they can transfer anywhere, including back to Walker or into Walker.
Right.
Do you know, have you been able to track where those
But
people
those
go?
people aren't getting on the bus in Walker.
Well, yes, but
But those aren't people from your city. They're people from Grand Rapids.
right.
But 3 out of every 4 people are either getting on or off in the city of Walker. Those people are not from the city of Walker because they're not getting on in the city of Walker.
Well, it doesn't mean I can live in Walker and I can get on the bus in Grand Rapids.
But they have to get off in Walker at some point, don't they?
Depends where I'm going and where I'm coming from.
But that's 1 out of every 4.
I live in Walker. I could be downtown. I could go Central Station. I could go to Kentwood. I could come back downtown, and then I could be picked up. So,
But how do you get back to Walker if you don't get?
well, I got there somehow. I could have ridden with someone. I could have carpooled. There's lots of possibilities.
I think the numbers are okay. So your perspective on it is basically that you think these numbers are inaccurate.
I don't know. You showed me these numbers 90 seconds ago. You've been asking me questions about them. I don't know the answer.
But why didn't you see those numbers before?
Do you know that I didn't?
You told me you didn't.
Well,
you told me you never seen the documents.
I didn't. I was referring to this one. This one, I don't know. I mean, I was not shown as a recipient of the email, although I see some of it's redacted, so for all I know.
No, those are the names that are redacted. The redactions are actually the names that were typed
Okay.
in.
So I don't know if I've seen this. This is a document that was prepared 7 months ago? May. Okay.
I mean, you told me you hadn't seen the documents.
Well, by virtue of the fact that my name isn't on it, I mean, I see, I get hundreds of documents every week. I don't recall seeing this one. But this is not a deposition, I'm not under oath, I'm just telling you the truth.
I'm just trying to get to the truth. I mean, have you ever seen these documents or no?
I don't
Before
believe,
today.
I don't believe I've seen these two.
Okay. Why not?
Well, why would I?
Thank you very much.
I have a question. I get on and walk.
Okay.
I get off.